The story is simple. My roots are in Africa. I'm from Ghana originally. So having gone to the U.S., had my education, worked for major pharmaceutical companies, and with the dream of setting up a similar type of operation in Ghana, it was easy then to make the decision finally to come back.
Dr. Paul Lartey and his wife, Dr. Alexandra Graham, studied and worked in the United States for many years. They both held senior positions at well-known pharmaceutical companies, but wanted to invest their skills back in Africa, so they returned home.
The issues are in Africa. When you have such a high disease burden, and the problem is availability and affordability of medicines. If you've gone through the training, you have the experience, you've had the exposure to ways in which to make medicines, I think it is important to come back to where the situation actually is, because once you are in it, then you realize how dire it is, and you can also identify the right ways in which you can help. So for me, it was very important to come back, establish a pharmaceutical business, establish it with the right kind of standards, with the right kind of technologies that could help with the solving of some of the disease burdens that we have.
They started the LaGray chemical company just north of Ghana's capital city, Accra. Here, they constructed a top-end facility for research and pharmaceutical production.
It was specifically designed, built, and operated to meet international standards of good manufacturing practices. Trying to get the money to get this off the ground. I would go for venture forums in the US, and you present it and everybody says, oh, this is wonderful. Wonderful business idea, but you know, we don't think this is a for-profit model. You should go to the Gates Foundation and get some money. And that's totally against everything we're trying to do here. The idea is not to go begging for things, but to show that we can do it ourselves here in Africa.
Because LaGray is focused on the production of pharmaceutical products for West Africa region, and this is really the focus of FMO to enter also in businesses with taking care of the healthcare. Well, the consideration is, of course, the profitability, bringing new products on the market, looking for improvement of healthcare, especially not, of course, LaGray. And we think that through LaGray and the connection with the American promoters, American Ghana promoters, we think we have a good solution for the future of such a company.
LaGray currently operates on a small scale, but boldly demonstrates that it is possible to run this kind of enterprise in Africa. They were to face many obstacles along the way. So why did they start the company?
Trust me, we've asked ourselves that so many times. Sleepless nights and all, we've asked how crazy could we be. But if we don't do it, who will? Somebody had to take the leap. Somebody has to try and make a difference. And I think it helps that we had grown, our kids were out of the home, empty nesters, so you can afford to now start thinking of other things like, what can I do for society? What can I give back to society?
No, it wasn't heaven. I mean, it was difficult. There are so many challenges doing business. First of all, in our environment, some of the challenges include even utilities, constant supply of electricity. Lights are going on and off all the time, so if you have sensitive equipment, they suffer. Having continuous power to operate and to manufacture is also challenging.
There we go. And fortunately, we have a backup generator that comes back up immediately, but it's a problem. Can you imagine running a chemical reaction at 150 degrees centigrade and it goes off, the electricity goes off?
Dr. Lartey and Dr. Graham are determined to make a success of their business, despite the challenges. They have achieved what many Africans abroad hope to accomplish one day themselves.
I can tell you by experience that living out there, most of us out there, whenever we talked about coming back. There are issues. Sometimes you get caught in the salary trap where leaving your high-earning salary, the somewhat comparatively easier way of life, and coming back to face the challenges become tough. And I believe that that is what keeps most people back there, because you start thinking about going back home, starting all over again, facing challenges, things that you probably did not anticipate, and problems you hear occurring, and so on and so forth, would then keep you back, and you may not want to go back. But I tell you, a majority of the people that I know that I was out there with, for example, all talk about coming back one day to help.
There isn't a word like impossible in my dictionary, and so it's a question of perseverance. We know that we will make it happen, and so there was never a question, not till now, of we'll pack this all up and go back to the U.S. No.
My viewpoint is that if you are outside and you've learned things that can help, if you came back and you applied those things that could help, you should try and come back. Granted, it is challenging, but in the final analysis, this is home, and you have to try and make things better.